I literally burnt an engine out of a car when I was a teenager. 16 or 17 years old, I thought all you did was turn the key and drive. I think a lot of us girls thought that. Well, hello and welcome back to Be Life Changers. I am your host, Kathy Coates, and I am so excited to be back here at JT Visuals with my dear friend Tammie. And we want to welcome you and just check out this studio. What did you think when you came in?
It is spectacular. I was like, whoa, wow.
I know. I was so excited to bring you in. I've been wanting to bring you in all year. I can't believe how fast this year has flew by. I mean, we are in December, and Christmas is right around the corner, just in a week from now. And so I am excited to have you as a guest here on the podcast. And JT Visuals is definitely more than meets the eye. So they've done an amazing job. And they always greet us with welcome arms and have everything ready to go for me, which is super nice because, as you know, you're my friend, how busy things can be, especially in business. But this time of season is always super busy. So it's nice to be able to come in, record a podcast, and go home. So it is so nice.
Hey, sorry to interrupt, but what if you didn't have to hunt for your next client? What if there's a way that you could spend less than 3 hours per month, even as a busy entrepreneur, and start attracting your ideal clients so that they come to you rather than you have to always go to them? You could be the best of your industry, but we want to make you the best known. And you can get started on this for free on our website. Go to jtvisuals.com and look for our ideal client profile generator. We've trained AI to come up with who you should reach out to and who you need to become to be that go-to expert of your industry and city. So what are you waiting for? Go to jtvisuals.com. That's jtvsuals.com, jtvsuals.com, and get started today.
Let me introduce you to one of my very, very good friends, Tammie Green, with Christian Brothers Automotive. Her and her husband, Scott, are the owners here in Shawnee.
Correct.
And how long have you been there?
Since 2012.
2012. But of course, Tammie and I go way back further than 2012. In fact, our husbands is how we met. They have been friends. We used to call them the North End. They were the North End of Salina for sure. Friends since they were very young kids.
Yes.
I think, yeah. So they hung out and they did everything good, bad, and ugly together. I guess. I don't know. I guess we can say that, right? So when you guys got married, and then Robbie and I'm trying to remember when we actually met. That was one thing I was thinking the other day. I was like, we have been friends for so long. I'm trying to even remember when we actually met. But I was like, I don't remember. I feel like I've just known you forever. So it makes it. I'm like, when was that? I've been married 32 years. So, it's been a long time since we've been friends. So
yes.
It's been pretty cool. So, but the one thing that I am excited to learn about is more about your guys' journey in business. We've been friends, and yes, we talk about the everyday business stuff when we get together. But, I don't think I've really ever asked, how did it all get started when you and Scott got married? When did you guys decide that, God was calling you into business, and what did that look like?
Well, I was laid off from corporate America in 2010. So that afforded the opportunity to look at what our options were. And Scott was managing a, Tires Plus business, and he has been in the automotive industry for a long time. We happened to be driving to the airport, and we saw the shuttle from Christian Brothers Automotive, and it said franchises available. So we looked at each other and we said, what?
Oh, wow.
So we went online, we looked it up, we got information, and we actually went down to Houston, where the home office is, and we had a discovery day. Then, of course, we took time and prayed about it, and we heard God say, yes, let's move forward.
Right.
And so fast forward, that was in 2010. So fast forward to 2012, we were at one of the Christian Brothers Automotive annual conventions for the owners. And the founder of Christian Brothers was playing golf with Scott.
Uh-oh.
Mark Carr said to Scott, well, you ready to take over the Shawnee, Kansas location? And Scott looked at him and said, well, sure, but we didn't know that. That was a surprise to us. So when we came back from the convention, a few weeks later, we landed in Christian Brothers Automotive Shawnee. Been there ever since.
Wow. It's a really neat facility, too. I love it over there. It's easy to get to, and you guys have done a great job. I know we had moved here at the end of 2015, and so it's been, I was like, wow, you guys got Christian Brothers here, and when we found out you guys lived here, I was like, yay! So I think that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So when you started that process, though, I've always kind of wondered, what it's like when you're starting a franchise. Like, what was probably one of the biggest challenges you went through, or maybe share that with us, kind of how that was.
So when we took over the business, there had been a previous owner there before us, and so he had the mindset of doing things different than us, and so he had a lot of discounts out there to the point that it was not profitable and it was not good business. And so that part of it was changing the strategy in terms of, we don't want to be where somebody just comes for the next best discount. We care about our customers, and we want to serve them for their lifetime, not just that one transaction or not just that one car. So we have many customers that have been coming to us for years and years, and we know them by name and call them friends and go to dinner with some of them. So that was what was a challenge, was to take over from somebody that had a different mindset than us.
Right. And it is, those shifts make it hard sometimes, because you're taking over someone, taking the good things, because there's always good stuff that was in place, and so you keep running with that, but getting the community that's coming in already to get used to the new things, and then draw that attention. And you guys have done a really good job at that. I know being in the community is very huge to be able to get that to happen. And I know you guys have had several programs over the years that you guys do to help the community. You want to share a couple of those with us?
Yeah, sure. So one of the other franchise owners started a National Service Day that was free oil changes for single moms and families in need. So back in 2012, we started doing that. It's typically in October, the second Saturday in October, and we work with our community partners, some of the churches and the schools, to identify those families in need that need that little extra hand up, not a handout, but an extra hand up.
Right.
And so we would look over the vehicle, check for safety items, and provide that free oil change for them. And oftentimes we would bless a single mom or a family in need with tires or something that was safety related that they needed. Now this year, because we are remodeling our facility, our team chose to actually donate Bibles to Johnson County Christmas Bureau Holiday Shop.
Awesome.
Because that is the most requested book when those families that need a little extra hand up come into the holiday shop. And so we donated 300 Bibles, both in Spanish, children's Bibles as well as large print, because some of us need a little extra help with the large print.
Oh, there's a funny story with that. My parents accidentally, when I was 16 years old, got me a large print Bible. And they were like, well, you can take it back after, Easter, because they always got us something for Easter. You can take it back after Easter and exchange it. And I was like, after I looked at it, I was like, Mom, Dad, I think I kind of like this large print Bible, even at 16 years old. And I'm so glad, like literally, I need to go get it put back together. But when I started teaching like Bible studies and stuff later, it was nice because you don't have to like put the Bible up here. And now that I'm getting older, we don't like to have to put the glasses on, like what's going on? So yeah, the large print, we kind of forget about that. But those large print, it don't matter even if you're young. I think large print just takes the stress off your eyes. So that's pretty cool. That's awesome. Well, thank you for doing that. It's kind of crazy because we just had I had Roseanne on. And with Johnson County Christmas Bureau. And so, yeah, it's a great establishment, great place, like you said, for a hand up, because every once in a while we could all just use that. So that's awesome. So thank you for doing that for our community. That's what makes you stand out. Christian Brothers stands out a lot, is just those little things, and that's what this, Be Life Changers is all about. I want to bring businesses on and talk about those stories. So our community knows that we're real people and, we make real changes in our community. And to be able to pick those businesses out to shop with, or, like get their car, fixed, repairs, all those types of things, it's important to know who's in our community. That local support helps. And I know you probably feel that, needing that new local business all of the time. And so I know there's many ways that you reach out to the community. What is some of the ways that you have chose to kind of reach out to the community this year?
Yeah, sure. So we have one of our staff members who we have assigned to do some grassroots marketing. So what she will do is go to businesses around Christian Brothers, and we're located at Shawnee Mission Parkway and K7, right next to the great Nick and Jake's restaurant.
Ooh, yes.
So she goes to the local businesses in Western Shawnee as well as the schools and hands out cards that say what's going on, like, hey, prepare for winter, or if spring break's coming up, you might want to have a road trip check before you go on that spring break trip. And so she has reached out to those different entities. And she also has made connections where if that school was doing let's just say a fun festival event for the fall, we provided cotton candy as well as popcorn and the manpower to, provide those two things right then and there live. And so Fran and I have often done that. And I tell you, the line for the cotton candy is really, really long. The kids light up, and even the adults love the cotton candy.
I get in the line for the cotton candy. Like, hold on, can I get in line for cotton candy?
Yes.
Yes, those are great ways to reach out to the community. And I always kind of point that out because sometimes other businesses are kind of wondering, what are some different ways that I, can reach out? They run out of ideas. So I always have us share different things so that those business owners that are watching the show also can get different ideas as well. And so I think that's awesome. Well, we've had pretty good weather lately, but we know that we're going to probably get hit pretty hard here soon. And so I thought it'd be fun to bring you on at the end of the year because, as we all know, we've already had one crisp hit with the weather. As we go outside and we start to turn the car over and it doesn't start. I know a lot of times those batteries are like the first thing to go out because I've had a friend, actually two friends call me within the last week when we got that hit with the cold weather. And they're like, I had to get a new battery. And another person was like, can you come give me a jump? And I was like, oh my goodness. And I thought, how crazy is that? I'm having you on the podcast next week. I was like, so we got to get these tips and tricks in for winter. So what would be a few things that you'd want to share with the community as we're coming into into winter, how to be prepared, and then some of the things that Christian Brothers has to offer to be solutions for those.
Yes, absolutely. So, like you said, the battery is a trigger point when the weather turns really, really cold, and oftentimes the battery doesn't work then. So, we do offer a free inspection where we will look and see if you are ready for winter. So, we're going to check multiple items on your car to verify that they're ready. So the top 3, I would say, are the battery, to make sure that that is in good working condition. And we have a tester that does that, an actual machine that does that. And then the other thing that is key for sure is your tire tread and your tire pressure or inflation. So you want to make sure that the tire's inflated to the correct amount so that you get the best traction. But then also with the traction is the tire tread. So if there's not enough tread, many people going around roundabouts will slide into the roundabouts, or they may even slide into another car or things like that. So we will check that for free. And then the last thing is to make sure that you have good wiper blades. So a little tip or trick for each individual is if their wiper blades are on and it's kind of streaky, get a damp paper towel and wipe the rubber part of the wiper blade. And if then that takes care of the issue because it gets a lot of dirt and oil and grime on it, then you're good to go. But if you still have that streaking happening, then you need some new wiper blades.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you know how the young people say, I'm so many years old. So today I'm 52 years old and I did not know that you can use a paper towel. So, I learned a new trick. That's awesome. Well, thank you. I learned something new today. So, So thanks for the tip and trick about the windshield wiper blades. I think the perfect time, probably every time I go in and get my oil changed, is I love that you're able to have all the fluids checked, and they always check the windshield wiper blades. But it is important still to check those fluids on the outside, too. My dad is one that always told me, make sure even though if you have a newer car, it doesn't matter, still make sure you check the oil, especially in the winter. And speaking of winter, that means we also have to make sure that we have emergency packs and all the right items in our car. A lot of times I think we don't even think about some of those things to put in the car. So what are some tips that you have for that?
Yeah, so definitely you can get a little emergency kit that you can buy at, any automotive store that has auto parts, or, even Walmart or Sam's or whatever. But you can also create your own. And for that, I would recommend that you have a blanket in the car for winter, that you have some food, little snacks, and that you have some type of water, as well as your phone charger. Let's just say we have another one of those snowy winter days and we're going to work and we slide off the road. Well, let's make sure that we have a phone charger so that we can call for help, and a blanket to keep warm, as well as some snacks.
Because, when it really hits hard, our emergency vehicles are out everywhere. So you may really have to wait, because there's a lot of people that a lot of times have accidents all at the same time. And some of them are more important to get to than others. And so having those things in place is detrimental. I mean, you need to stay warm. I know my father even told me, I don't know if you've heard this, but I didn't know this for the longest, but he's like, carry a candle with you. He's like, because it puts out heat even. Of course, you don't want to catch anything on fire, of course. But I mean, like, if you really got caught somewhere that you had to be, I was like, I never knew that. Like, but I'm sure we have all kinds of things like hand warmers that you break open and keep your hands warm and stuff like that. But I thought, well, goodness, if it comes down to the point of where you're in a place that you might live in the country or something that might take you a little bit longer, you always think about those things. But of course, growing up, I grew up in New Cambria, which is right outside of Salina, so it's kind of the country. Back then it was. It's not so much now.
Right.
But, well, one thing is for sure, winter is tough, but a prepared driver is a safe driver. What is one myth about auto repair that you'd love to clear up?
Yes, is that we need to actually do fluid exchanges for more than just your oil. I think we were all taught when we grew up, hey, change your oil. That's important so that the engine stays lubricated. Well, there's other fluids like transmission fluid, coolant, brake fluid. All of those fluids also do need to be exchanged. Typically, that happens or is recommended to happen when you have something break. So let's say your radiator breaks, then we would also recommend a coolant flush with that radiator. So some people think, oh, no, I don't need to do anything with the fluids. They're fine. But that myth is not true. Your car will last a lot longer if you have the fluids exchanged regularly. And in matter of fact, your owner's manual gives recommendations for the time frames or the mileage to do that.
Right. That's awesome. And I know this to be true because I literally burnt an engine out of a car when I was a teenager because I didn't change the oil. And, older cars, you have to check the oil. That's why I mentioned earlier about, oh, yeah, my father tells you every time you gas up, you should check the oil no matter how old or new your car is. Yeah, I know that the hard way because I was 16 or 17 years old, I thought all you did was turn the key and drive. I think a lot of us girls thought that, even though he told me I thought he didn't know what he was talking about. But okay. And so I was supposed to be adding oil to it, and I didn't add oil to it, and it burnt the engine up in my car. So yeah, I know that to be true.
Yeah. Well, and Christian Brothers wants to work with the person that just, wants to put gas in the car and turn it on. We'll help take care of everything under the hood and under the car. But also, we do work with those individuals that are do-it-yourself. So they do most everything themselves, but we're there if something is beyond their skill level or what they can do. So we want to serve everyone that we can.
It does make it makes it very helpful. So that if you don't know, you have a place to go, and you guys do a great job at that. Is there a moment with a customer that reminds you why to do this? Have you had any funny ones like myself? Like maybe not as bad as blow up the engine, but give us a funny story.
Well, I'm going to give you one that's sentimental because I just heard about this. A gal that I work out with indicated to me that several years ago she lost her husband, and her husband had taken care of the car. And so it was her first time coming in, and she needed wiper blades. And so we told her the cost of doing wiper blades, and she just broke down in tears. And she told me it wasn't the amount of what we were charging for the wiper blades. It was just the fact that her husband had always done that for her. Right. And so I overheard this transaction going on, and I got up from my desk and I went out and I said, ma'am, I would like to take care of your wiper blades. And she's like, oh, no, I can do it. I have the money to do it. And I said, I would like to bless you with the wiper blades. And she told me the other day that just really made her know that God had her. God had her back. And so those kinds of stories always melt my heart and confirm that Scott and I are doing what God's called us to do.
Oh, awesome. I love that. So powerful. And, those moments in business when that happens, you're in that right spot, in that right place. It's just so fulfilling. And, this time of season being Christmas, it's even more, you think about those things a little bit more, Jesus being born and his time here on earth. And so real change happens when real people show up for the community. And that's exactly what you and Scott do. do. And so you do it every single day. I've seen it. That's one story, but I know many, many stories. And even in my own life, when we first moved here, you guys were so helpful to us. One of our sons was looking for a car. His blew up on the way down here. And I'll never forget that we drove all the way back in from Atlanta. It did get us here. Thank God it got us all the way here. But as soon as we pulled in, like the smoke was coming out and he was going back to college and didn't have a car. And, I remember Scott going out of his way to try to help find a car, even though they do repair cars. They don't find cars. But, he had the experience. So he just had a heart to go help find a car and to make sure that, Malachi had that, transportation. And that's just the heart of you both. And that's what I feel like the heart of Christmas is, the heart of the season. And so I thank you so much. You guys got to go check out Christian Brothers and Shawnee. You will be happy you did it and be blessed that you did it. And so we wish you a Merry Christmas, both of us, from our family to yours. And we thank you for being here and watching Be Life Changers. And we look forward to seeing you on the next episode.